Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor alienates family, faces a future alone. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, is determined to team up with Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, to take down Jabot. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? However, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, has already informed him that she wants nothing to do with this. Will Victor alienate the rest of his family and end up alone? Victoria Newman has issues with Victor Newman. Victor has been so controlling over Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, since she got with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, that she has turned against him. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, recently called Victor out on his treatment of Claire. Victoria also called him out on his tendency to interfere in her love life as well. Victoria missed years with Cole Howard, Eddie Peck, years ago because of Victor's issues with him. Now that Cole is gone, Victoria is done with him and his meddling. Victoria isn't about to watch her father keep up meddling in everyone's lives. Victoria is on the verge of pulling away from Victor just like her mom. Victor Newman has manipulated Nick Newman. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, was happy with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, just as Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, was. However, Victor manipulated that situation and make sure that neither of them ended up staying with Sally. What is this? Now that Adam is with Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, Victor is causing issues by going after Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. If Chelsea leaves Adam, he will certainly blame Victor for them breaking up. Victor doesn't care that his vendetta with the Abbotts is threatening his son's relationship. Victor is going to make sure that Adam does exactly what he wants him to do no matter what. Adam's relationship could end up on the rocks very soon thanks to Victor. Will Victor Newman end up all alone? Victor has been doing very good at alienating his family. Now that Victor has pushed his family to the limit and has agreed to partner up with Kane, he could very well end on fighting the Newmans and everyone else in Genoa City on his own. Victor is making demands on his family that they just cannot stick to no matter what he suggests. Will Victor continue with his plans to try to outsmart Kane? Will Nikki continue to stand by and watch Victor attack Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman? Can Victor manage to take down Jabot and hand it over to Kane? Will Victor end up alone after going after the man who has saved Nikki's life? Will Victor alienate his family to get what he wants? Victor Newman's world is teetering on the edge of chaos, and the Young and the Restless fans are bracing for one of the most explosive chapters in Genoa City history. The media mogul's latest maneuvers have done more than ruffle feathers. They've sent shockwaves through his family, leaving Victor increasingly isolated and casting doubt on whether he can ever truly reconnect with those he loves. Over the past few weeks, viewers have witnessed Victor's relentless drive to control every aspect of Newman Enterprises, pushing allies and enemies alike into uncomfortable corners. However, the real damage may be happening at home. Victor's actions have left his children questioning their loyalty, and even longtime confidants are beginning to reconsider their allegiance. At the center of this turmoil is Victoria, whose attempts to bridge the growing gap between her father and the family have repeatedly been thwarted by Victor's own stubbornness. She finds herself torn between standing up to Victor and preserving what remains of the Newman legacy. Meanwhile, Nicholas has tried to mediate, hoping to prevent a family meltdown, but Victor's latest business and personal decisions have alienated him as well. There's a growing sense that Victor is pushing everyone away, intentionally or not, and that his need for control is creating a chasm that may be impossible to cross. As the drama unfolds, fans are witnessing the unraveling of not just a family empire, but the man at its helm. Victor's refusal to compromise or heed advice is bringing a chilling clarity to his situation. If he continues down this path, he may face a future entirely alone. Yet, in classic Newman fashion, Victor is not one to surrender quietly. Viewers can expect a series of high-stakes confrontations as Victoria, Nicholas, and other key players confront him, forcing Victor to either reckon with the emotional wreckage he's caused or double down on his isolation. The tension is heightened by corporate intrigue, with boardroom battles at Newman Enterprises reflecting the personal fractures tearing through the Newman family. Secrets long buried are resurfacing, and past betrayals are being used as weapons in the ongoing power struggle. Victor's relationships, once the bedrock of his strength, are now proving to be his greatest vulnerability. Meanwhile, fans are buzzing over every subtle glance and terse exchange, speculating whether reconciliation is possible or if Victor's legacy will be defined by solitude. Rumors of potential alliances and betrayals abound, with characters like Ashley and Adam being drawn back into the fray in unexpected ways. These developments promise not only heart-stopping drama but also the chance for redemption, or utter downfall. As Genoa City braces for the coming weeks, one question dominates conversations both on-screen and among fans: can Victor Newman repair the fractures he's created, or is he truly destined to face the rest of his days as a solitary titan, estranged from the family that once defined him? Every scene, every dialogue is charged with the weight of impending reckoning, as writers continue to push the boundaries of what viewers thought they knew about Victor Newman. The stakes are higher than ever, blending corporate warfare, family tension, and deeply personal conflicts into a compelling saga that keeps audiences glued to their screens. With alliances shifting, secrets coming to light, and emotional confrontations looming, The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for a dramatic climax where Victor's choices will have consequences far beyond the boardroom. In the end, the story of Victor Newman is one of power, pride, and the sometimes painful cost of ambition. Fans are preparing for a season filled with shocking turns, heart-wrenching decisions, and the potential for one of Genoa City's most iconic figures to face a lonely, uncertain future. As the narrative unfolds, Victor's legacy will hang in the balance, leaving audiences to wonder if the patriarch who has commanded respect, fear, and loyalty can find a path back to the family he risks losing, or if the man who built an empire will ultimately stand alone in its shadow. Every development in this ongoing saga adds layers of complexity to Victor's character, revealing vulnerabilities hidden beneath his formidable exterior. Viewers are witnessing not only the consequences of his decisions but also the human cost of power unchecked, as his relentless pursuit of control threatens the bonds that have always defined the Newman family. This storyline is poised to deliver shocking twists, poignant family confrontations, and unforgettable drama that will keep fans talking long after the episodes air. The narrative is rich with opportunities for emotional storytelling, exploring themes of loyalty, pride, and the fine line between leadership and isolation. Victor's journey serves as a stark reminder that even the most powerful figures cannot escape the repercussions of their actions, and in Genoa City, no one is immune from the consequences of ambition pushed too far. As Victor navigates these treacherous waters, audiences can expect intense dialogue, high-stakes power plays, and deeply personal reckonings that will define the future of Newman Enterprises and the Newman family. The suspense builds with each episode, leaving viewers eager to see whether Victor will mend fences, continue his solitary path, or face an even more dramatic downfall. Ultimately, this storyline is not just about business, it's about the heart of a man whose choices ripple through every aspect of his life, forcing him to confront the possibility that true strength may require vulnerability, humility, and a willingness to change. As the weeks unfold, one thing is certain: Victor Newman's story is far from over, and the drama surrounding his family, empire, and personal legacy will captivate audiences, keeping them on the edge of their seats, questioning what the future holds for one of daytime television's most legendary characters. Victor Newman's influence over Nick Newman has reached new and unsettling heights, and The Young and the Restless fans are witnessing a saga of manipulation, control, and family tension that promises to leave Genoa City reeling. For decades, Victor has been the patriarch who dominates not only Newman Enterprises but the lives of those closest to him, and Nick, as his son, has often found himself at the center of Victor's relentless schemes. What makes this latest storyline so compelling is the subtle yet powerful ways Victor exerts his authority, bending Nick's decisions, emotions, and loyalties to align with his own interests. From the boardroom to personal life, Victor's influence is inescapable. Fans have observed Nick struggling to maintain his independence while feeling the constant pull of his father's expectations and strategic manipulations. Victor knows exactly how to push Nick's buttons, whether it's invoking family loyalty, guilt, or ambition. Each encounter between father and son is a carefully orchestrated power play, leaving Nick torn between doing what he believes is right and succumbing to the weight of his father's demands. The tension has reached a breaking point, with viewers seeing Nick make decisions that conflict with his moral compass, often rationalized as efforts to appease Victor or protect the Newman legacy. One of the most striking elements of this storyline is Victor's ability to exploit Nick's vulnerabilities. He has leveraged past insecurities, moments of doubt, and family pressures to ensure that Nick's choices, both professional and personal, ultimately serve Victor's agenda. This manipulation is not always overt. Victor's genius lies in his subtlety, his capacity to frame situations in ways that make Nick feel as though he is acting independently, when in reality he is playing into Victor's hands. Meanwhile, Nick's internal struggle has become a focal point of emotional storytelling. Viewers are privy to the psychological and emotional toll of being under Victor's influence, seeing Nick oscillate between loyalty, resentment, and frustration. His relationships with other family members, colleagues, and romantic partners are also being affected, as Victor's interference often leaves Nick alienated or caught in the middle of high-stakes conflicts. Across Genoa City, fans are captivated by the power dynamics at play, with each episode peeling back layers of family intrigue, corporate maneuvering, and personal betrayal. The manipulation storyline has created ripple effects, influencing interactions between Nick and Victoria, Nick and Adam, and even Nick and Chelsea, with every conversation carrying the weight of potential deception or hidden agendas. Victor's mastery of psychological strategy is on full display as he subtly engineers situations to test Nick's judgment, loyalty, and resilience. Boardroom decisions are just as much about personal control as they are about corporate strategy, with Victor orchestrating deals and conflicts that force Nick into positions where he must compromise his own principles. The impact of this manipulation is compounded by Victor's uncanny ability to anticipate reactions, plan several steps ahead, and maintain an image of benevolent guidance while steering outcomes in his favor. For viewers, the tension is palpable. Every decision Nick makes, every moment he hesitates or questions his father's motives, adds to the suspense. Fans are left wondering whether Nick will finally break free from Victor's grip or continue to be ensnared in a web of influence carefully woven by the man who taught him the ways of power, ambition, and control. At the same time, the storyline delves deeply into the emotional consequences of Victor's manipulation. Nick's moments of doubt, self-recrimination, and conflict with other family members provide a poignant lens into the human cost of living under such intense pressure. The narrative also explores the potential for rebellion, as Nick begins to recognize patterns of control and subtly tests the boundaries of independence, creating scenes charged with tension, emotion, and anticipation. As this storyline unfolds, audiences are treated to a masterclass in character-driven drama, with Victor's manipulation serving as both a catalyst for plot and a profound examination of family dynamics. The ripple effects extend beyond Nick, touching Victoria's struggles with loyalty, Adam's skepticism of Victor's methods, and the complex interplay of power, ambition, and morality that defines the Newman family. In classic The Young and the Restless fashion, the stakes are personal and professional, blending high-octane corporate intrigue with deeply human emotional conflicts. Fans can expect dramatic confrontations, heart-wrenching decisions, and moments of revelation as Nick confronts the reality of his father's influence and the potential consequences for himself, the Newman family, and the empire Victor has built. Writers have meticulously crafted a storyline that balances suspense, emotional depth, and character development, ensuring that viewers are continually engaged and invested in Nick's journey. The manipulation is not static. It evolves, shifts, and adapts, keeping Nick and the audience guessing about what Victor will do next and how Nick will respond. Every scene adds layers of complexity, from tense boardroom showdowns to intimate family exchanges, demonstrating how Victor's calculated influence permeates every corner of Nick's life. What makes this narrative even more compelling is the nuanced portrayal of Victor. While viewers see him as a manipulative force, they also witness the familial love, pride, and protectiveness that often underlie his actions, creating a multidimensional villain-protagonist dynamic that keeps audiences engaged. The storyline examines the fine line between guidance and control, love and coercion, as Victor maneuvers to maintain his vision for the family while Nick grapples with autonomy, morality, and personal ambition. As Genoa City watches, questions abound. Will Nick ultimately assert independence and defy his father, or will Victor's mastery of manipulation prove too formidable? Can Nick preserve his integrity while navigating the treacherous waters of family expectations, corporate politics, and personal loyalty? Every episode contributes to a larger tapestry of tension, strategy, and emotional complexity, ensuring that fans remain captivated by the drama. In the end, the saga of Victor Newman's manipulation of Nick Newman is not just a tale of power and control, it is a story of family, loyalty, ambition, and the human struggle to balance love with independence. The Young and the Restless continues to deliver riveting storytelling, ensuring that Victor and Nick's dynamic will remain at the forefront of fan discussions, speculation, and anticipation for many weeks to come. Viewers are witnessing a masterful interplay of strategy, emotion, and high-stakes drama, promising unforgettable moments, shocking twists, and a compelling exploration of how far a father can go to shape the destiny of his son, and what happens when that influence becomes too heavy a burden to bear. The unfolding drama is set to redefine relationships, test moral boundaries, and challenge viewers' perceptions of loyalty, ambition, and family, ensuring that Nick Newman's journey under Victor's shadow remains one of the most riveting arcs in daytime television history. Victor Newman, the formidable patriarch of Genoa City, has always commanded respect, wielded power, and maintained an iron grip over Newman Enterprises and his sprawling family. But as the Young and the Restless fans are witnessing, the empire he built with ambition, cunning, and sheer will is now teetering on the edge of something far more personal: isolation. Over decades, Victor has been both revered and feared, loved and resented, but his relentless drive for control has created fault lines in his personal relationships that are widening at an alarming pace. At the center of this turmoil is Victor's own family, the very foundation upon which he has built his legacy. From Nick to Victoria, from Adam to Victoria's children, Victor's actions have begun to alienate those closest to him. What was once unwavering loyalty now carries an undercurrent of resentment, and every decision Victor makes seems to drive another wedge between him and the people who matter most. Viewers have watched as Victor's corporate battles often mirror his personal ones. Boardroom conflicts spill into family dinners, business maneuvering becomes intertwined with emotional manipulation, and the line between love and control grows increasingly blurred. Nick's struggle under Victor's influence is a prime example, showcasing the emotional toll of having a father who is simultaneously a mentor, a manipulator, and a tyrant. Victoria, ever the peacemaker, finds herself caught between her desire to maintain family unity and the harsh reality of Victor's domineering personality. Each confrontation, whether in private or in the heat of corporate warfare, exposes vulnerabilities in Victor's carefully constructed persona. Beyond his children, Victor's relationships with friends, allies, and even romantic interests have begun to fracture. Longtime confidants who once stood by him are questioning their loyalty, wary of the emotional cost of standing too close to a man whose ambition can overshadow all else. The Newman family legacy, once a source of pride, is now at risk of becoming a symbol of Victor's isolation, a monument to power achieved at the expense of human connection. Emotional scenes on screen have heightened the tension. Confrontations with Nick, intimate exchanges with Victoria, and moments of reflection reveal a Victor increasingly aware of the distance growing between himself and those he loves. Yet, his pride often prevents him from admitting vulnerability, and his attempts to control outcomes sometimes exacerbate the very problems he wishes to solve. Viewers are captivated by the psychological depth of this storyline, as Victor faces a reckoning that no amount of money, influence, or strategic maneuvering can resolve alone. The narrative expertly balances high-stakes corporate intrigue with deeply personal family drama, illustrating that even the most powerful figures are not immune to loneliness and regret. Rumors and speculation among fans abound. Will Victor finally recognize the damage caused by his relentless pursuit of control, or will he continue down a path that guarantees solitude? Could there be reconciliation with his children, a rekindling of trust with Victoria, or even a meaningful connection with long-lost allies? Or is Victor destined to become a solitary titan, surrounded by wealth and power but devoid of the intimacy and loyalty that once defined his life? The tension is palpable as each episode builds toward dramatic confrontations. Writers have masterfully crafted scenarios that test Victor's relationships, challenge his pride, and explore the consequences of ambition pushed too far. Secrets once buried are resurfacing, alliances are shifting, and the emotional stakes have never been higher. Fans are treated to a layered portrayal of Victor's internal struggles, moments of introspection that reveal both regret and defiance, illustrating the complexity of a man who is as capable of love as he is of ruthless calculation. The storyline also delves into the reactions of the broader Newman family. Nick's growing awareness of manipulation and Victoria's emotional fatigue add depth to the narrative, demonstrating how Victor's choices reverberate across multiple generations. Adam's skepticism and occasional defiance introduce additional tension, highlighting that the consequences of Victor's actions are not confined to the present but will shape the family's future for years to come. Every subplot contributes to the central question: can Victor Newman bridge the chasm he has created, or is he fated to face the twilight of his life in isolation? Emotional flashbacks, poignant dialogues, and tense boardroom confrontations are all utilized to heighten the stakes, creating a sense of impending reckoning that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. The drama is further intensified by corporate intrigue, as Victor's professional decisions often mirror the struggles within his family. Boardroom conflicts become symbolic of personal betrayal, and strategic maneuvers reveal both Victor's brilliance and his vulnerability. Fans are particularly captivated by the nuanced portrayal of Victor's relationships with women in his life, past and present. Romantic entanglements, long-standing partnerships, and fleeting connections all reflect the complexities of a man whose personal desires are frequently at odds with his need for control and dominance. The tension between pride and vulnerability is ever present, underscoring that power alone cannot prevent loneliness or mend fractured relationships. In addition to family and romantic conflicts, Victor's friendships and alliances face tests as well. Characters who once supported him unconditionally are increasingly wary of his methods, creating scenarios that blend personal drama with suspenseful strategic maneuvering. These layered narratives ensure that viewers remain invested not only in the outcome of corporate battles but in the fate of Victor as a man. The question of whether Victor will end up alone is both emotional and existential. It forces audiences to consider the cost of power when pursued without balance, and it challenges the character to reconcile his ambition with his humanity. Every decision, every interaction, and every confrontation adds weight to this central theme, making the storyline rich, compelling, and emotionally resonant. As the episodes continue, viewers can anticipate a series of high-stakes revelations and dramatic encounters. Victor may face ultimatums from family members, confrontations with longtime allies, and moments of introspection that could redefine his path. The suspense is expertly maintained, ensuring that each scene contributes to the overarching narrative of power, pride, and the potential for isolation. Ultimately, Victor Newman's story in The Young and the Restless serves as a powerful exploration of human relationships, ambition, and the consequences of choices made in pursuit of control. Fans are witnessing a character study that combines corporate intrigue with deeply personal drama, creating a narrative that is as intellectually engaging as it is emotionally charged. The journey toward whether Victor will end up alone is ongoing, full of twists, surprises, and moments of emotional resonance that underscore the richness of daytime television storytelling. This storyline promises to remain a focal point of fan discussion, speculation, and anticipation for weeks to come, as audiences await the resolution of a saga that is both timeless and intensely contemporary, reflecting the universal tension between power and personal connection. Every episode, dialogue, and revelation serves to heighten the suspense, deepen the emotional stakes, and ensure that Victor Newman's potential solitude is explored with all the nuance, drama, and intensity that fans have come to expect from The Young and the Restless. The unfolding narrative is not just about business or legacy, it is about the heart, the cost of pride, and the human need for connection, even for a man as powerful as Victor Newman. As Genoa City watches, questions linger. Can Victor repair the damage he has wrought, reclaim the trust of those he loves, or will the shadows of his ambition leave him isolated in the empire he built? The answers are unfolding in real time, ensuring that the story of Victor Newman's potential loneliness remains one of daytime television's most compelling arcs, captivating viewers, provoking speculation, and leaving an indelible mark on the legacy of Genoa City drama.